Hey everyone, it's Jessica again with the steering committee at PCIC and the legislation committee. I'm just hopping on here to give you a few updates. The first one I wanted to start with is a win for medical freedom. We started watching a bill called SB 709 about January of 2022, and it's regarding CMV testing in newborn children. I'm going to flip my camera around here. And this bill, if you're not familiar with CMV, I was not familiar with CMV, so we had to do some research on it. And CMV, according to the CDC, most people have been infected with CMV but do not have symptoms. However, this particular bill was targeting newborn babies. And 1 out of 200 babies is born with a CMV infection. However, 4 out of 5 will not experience any long-term health problems. And typically the treatment for CMV is an antiviral medication. So in this bill, in SB 709, we found that the bill stated the department shall require a birthing facility to screen the newborn children for CMV before the newborn child is 21 days of age, if the newborn child fails the initial newborn hearing screening. So we obviously had some concerns. This bill originally did provide a religious exemption, but our question was who's going to tell the parents that they could opt out for religious reasons if they wanted to. We also recognized that this bill could, or this screening could potentially become a routine screening. We know that, healthcare providers might say, this is becoming too hard to remember to do on, just these children. Why not screen everybody? And we also recognize that it could potentially bring in more profits. So we were opposed to this bill, and we were actually able to get this amended in the House. When it crossed over, we had a legislator who was willing to amend it, and the bill, once it passed, stated that CMV testing will be offered to parents, not that it would be required, and therefore then the religious exemption part was taken out because it would be offered. So we feel like this is a huge win for medical freedom, and we're so thankful for the representatives who put their neck out on the line to get this amended. And it was approved by the governor on June 27th, 2022. We haven't been sharing that because obviously we've been watching the pharmacy bill, which unfortunately we weren't as successful with. However, with that said, for HB 2679, we know we slowed this down. There's no doubt in my mind that we had conversations going between the House and the Senate, and we slowed it down between, I guess it was that first week of July. Again, we had many conversations going. That was confirmed through our numerous phone calls to legislators' offices. However, I'm sad to report that it unfortunately passed without any amendments added. However, one senator did try to amend it, and I'll bring that up here. I want to point this out because a Democrat senator wanted to put language in that stated an act enabling certain minors to consent to medical, dental, and health services, declaring consent unnecessary under certain circumstances. Thankfully, this was voted on, and it fell on party lines once again, so it did not get amended to include that language, thankfully. However, it did pass, and the governor signed it on July 11th. I guess that was this Monday, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, I'm really proud of everybody that called and the conversations that took place. We did, you know, the best we could. Again, unfortunately, it passed and the governor signed it. The next update I have for you is on HB 2013. Let's find it here. So we have 60 co-sponsors. Unfortunately, House leadership has not brought this up for a vote, despite, you know, everyone's best efforts. I know some of you, your eyes might be glazing over because we have been talking about HB 2013 for some time now. However, sadly, the time has run out for this bill. There's just not an opportunity for it to get passed through the House and Senate. Our legislators are only in session, I believe that it's either the House or Senate. One of them is only in session for 10 days, September through November, and the other one is only in session for 12 days. So unfortunately, this is not going to go anywhere. But with that said, I want to make it very clear that we should not stop talking about HB 2013. This bill is super, super important in Pennsylvania, and we want to see it passed next session, which next session would begin in 2023. And then the earliest we could see it on the ballot then would be 2025, unfortunately. But we will have 2 years at least to gather new co-sponsors, because many of these co-sponsors are either not returning, they're retiring. Some are, I believe now, running for Senate. So we're going to be starting from the beginning again and asking the House, once it's reintroduced, we'll be asking our representatives to please co-sponsor this once again. So we got a long road with this. It's, you know, but it's not over. Please, please, please keep talking about it with your legislators, even your senators. Let them know about it, get them on board, make sure they're on board, and continue to educate. So with that, it brings me to our summer action alert. We have 2 over July and August. We want our members to meet with your legislators. They're in their district offices. Session budget has been passed, so session is now over. So they'll be in their district offices and they'll have way more time to spend with you. So if you haven't already, please, please start building that relationship with your representative or senator, both preferably, or their staff members. I mean, their staffers are just as important to be in their ear and find out where, you know, everyone stands. They're great resources, so don't discount them. Have conversations with them as well. If you need help, please, please reach out to me and our legislation committee. We can be reached, and our email is pciccapitalaria@gmail.com. I'll drop that in the comments. But we would love to chat with you. If you're nervous, if you're unsure, we will walk you through. We will coach you through. We're more than happy if we have experienced advocates who will join you on Zoom calls, or if they're close enough, I think they would be happy enough to join you for a meeting, even if they aren't a constituent. We know how important your voice is, and we want to make sure that we're getting heard, and every legislator is hearing what we have to say. Our second action alert for the summer is help good candidates get elected this fall. So we are asking that you get involved with the election process however you feel best. Support the candidate that you want to support, so we can continue to keep our freedoms. And just get involved. And if you don't know how, feel free to email PCIC at informedconsent2015@gmail.com. I know these aren't the updates that we all wanted to hear. Trust me, it was a hard few days for me and for everybody else on the steering committee and the legislation committee. However, we did our best, and that's something to be proud of. We are grateful for all our members for taking the time to call their legislators, especially with the pharmacy bill with HB 2679. But your voice is super, super important. And again, they need to hear from all of us. Please use your voice whenever you can. So yeah, that's the updates I have. We're going to keep plugging forward. We have some really great ideas for the fall. The legislation committee is hard at work, even though we're on summer break technically. We're still plugging away. We want to get back to the basics of educating our legislators, because it is obvious with this pharmacy bill that our legislators do not understand, if you want to say, the overall agenda. So we want to get back to basics with all our legislators, not just the Republicans. We want to get into, we want to reach out to all our legislators and have these important conversations. And again, getting back to the basics, making sure they're aware of VAERS and the 1986 law and just different things. So stay tuned for that. If you're looking for other ways to help, please reach out. There was 4 of us that took the time to call the Senate offices for HB 2679, and it was a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie. And it would just be nice to have people willing to make those phone calls and have those conversations, or I should say extra people, because obviously it's over summer, and not everybody was, available to do that. So if you have some spare time or think you might be interested, I know, there are places in the state that are over 4 hours away from the Capitol. So if you think that's something you would be interested in, we know that not everybody can get to the Capitol, and that's okay. But we would love, if you would be willing to reach out to offices. So again, contact us. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. All right, guys, I hope you're having a great day. It's a nice sunny day in Central PA, so I hope it is where you are too. Take care.